for and I'm one Casamoba, maybe at no say latest updates, maybe ever bedroom. No who said you, Omamugana, Esifa, Echo, ever. Meso say over subscribe to your channel, over like we are comment say a day a month. Yamura and some Mudia, not just say any chia say a year this month, just say 2 square Emma and I yet so about just a Ghana for so as I saw months say. Owo say John Dramani Mahama ebe to us so na ye hwe said ye onu say ebe si I told in your afa na ebusiafo ene de ya me no kasa die eye Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia na chese woni NDC journalist de enye agoso kwa chese watete ede ama eye NDC journalist ne pasa achese ebusia me kasa me kan adebe science kame hona yemora nsem na adwenche bia won so won forget say obejale our comment section ase ede.
Must say, like I said, we worked very hard in the campaign. I must tell you that I'm very proud of the communication team. Very, 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 very proud. You know, we did very well. You did an excellent job. I must congratulate you. We dominated the NDC in social media. I mean, by far, very, very clearly. And we were working against their ownership of support from key media houses, isn't it? Yeah. You know, so it put us at a disadvantage in many ways in terms of the communication field, because you know, a lot of these key media houses who were not on our side. And so we have to, but you fought very hard at the time you had the opportunity. I've been following the communications very closely over the campaign because I wanted to know how things were going across the space. So now we are in a position. It was a big disappointment. There's no doubt about it when the results came. Why was it a disappointment? Because all the work we had done was pointing to the fact that we would win this election. I mean, there was, clear evidence on the ground as we went to all the 276 constituencies. It was clear that, you know, we were going to do well. But on the day of the election, something was amiss. Turnout was so low, and everybody was wondering what was happening. Why? Where are people? And that was from Axim all the way to Zebra. You know, the whole country. You know, what is going on? Where are people? It turned out that 2.1 million of us decided to stay. Yento. You know, that was and it's almost as if they had a meeting and decided on the message. You know, the same message. No matter which constituency you went to, they will tell you they were not voting. So at least we know where the problem is. To solve a problem, you have to know what it is. So our people didn't vote. That was the problem. The question now is why they didn't vote. That is the question. And that is a research question we are going to answer now. Thankfully, it's not guesswork. We know all the individuals who did not vote in every polling station. So it's not guesswork. So the research is going to speak to them, individual by individual, polling station by polling, to get a sense of why they did not vote. That can only be the basis on which we can go forward. Otherwise, it will be guesswork. It will be guesswork. I must say, like I said, we worked very hard in the campaign. I must tell you that I'm very proud of the communication team. Very, 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 very proud. You know, we did very well. You did an excellent job. I must congratulate you. We dominated the NDC in social media. I mean, by far, very, very clearly. And we were working against their ownership of support from key media houses, isn't it? Yeah. You know, so it put us at a disadvantage in many ways in terms of the communication field, because you know, a lot of these key media houses who were not on our side. And so we have to. But you fought very hard every time you had the opportunity. I've been following the communications very closely over the campaign because I wanted to know how things were going across the space. So now we are in a position.
I would say I think we had the pointers coming out from the surveys that were being put out there. And a very important factor is my dad in the church. And I think that moving forward as a party, we have to have a look at that in the constituency. What role does it play? What pointers would it give to us moving forward? So that we can, hopefully, I'm very confident that we can have that seat back if we do our homework well.
What will be your reaction to persons who may want to criticize you that you may not have played such an active role in helping the party to secure the seat, mentioning your dad's role and influence in that particular constituency?
I think that those are just, criticizing for criticizing's sake. From the moment I lost that seat in my primaries, I made it clear that I would be joining the national campaign team. I was not wavering about that, because when you have been an MP for 12 years, you still have your supporters, you still have people moving around you. You don't want a situation where you are not the face of the constituency anymore, but people still receive you as the face of the constituency. I didn't want that conflict, and I chose my words carefully when I lost. And a few of your guys interviewed me, what's the way forward? I told them I was going to be with Dr. Bawumia. I'm going to do other constituencies when I have the time. But I think that my influence is still there, and I want to give my opponent the way and the room and the space to enjoy it and to work the way he wants to work, not the way I want the constituency to follow. I've done 12 years in the constituency. What I would say is it's a bit too early, and I know that there's still some issues in there, but if you look at the gap that we win with and what we are contending with right now, I think as a party we need to have a critical look at the constituency and how we can win it back, with or without addressing.
In the sixth parliament, we had a commanding majority of 169, which was very unprecedented, with over 1 million votes for the presidential candidate Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. In 2020 election, again we had a split parliament, where people say hung parliament, with just a single majority which I lead. Then we had over 500,000 votes for our presidential candidate Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. Now come 2024, where they have over 170 seats. C'est la vie. That is life. That is democracy. All right? We congratulate them. The people of Ghana have heard them. They've given them the mandate. Our job in opposition is to do what we're supposed to do.